Well, I was kind of overwhelmed getting, off the streets and back into treatment, and I had quite a few appointments that were stacked up, and I remember leaving LBJ for an oncology appointment, and I lost the urine container and stuff they needed for a test to be done. And after I did that, I couldn't get anything done. I couldn't get the equipment back. I couldn't get through to appointments to reschedule them. I was frustrated, and so I deleted all my appointments. And I didn't know what to do. I couldn't get my head back above water, and I'd been off treatment for a year, so it was important to me. And I was sitting at Thomas Street getting some medication filled, and one of the case managers walked by, and she could tell that I was frazzled and I was bothered. And she calmed me down, and she said, well, look, how can we help?
Our case management team, the Spns team, is actually able to provide more intensive case management. So I was able to come to the site and coordinate with him and take some extra time with him to really understand what was going on and to look into those referrals, contact the people I needed to contact for that, because he didn't actually have access to a phone to be able to schedule those appointments, to check on referrals, to check on his medication, and to really get the answers that he needed to feel comfortable that his healthcare was all going well.
The only thing I really clearly remember was I wanted to give up on treatment again and just not deal with any of it. And then I remember Christina, she was really concerned about getting me on track and getting this stuff done. And knowing that someone like her or any staff or anybody other than myself cared that much about me taking care of myself encouraged me to press through everything I was going through and accept the help that she was giving and take care of myself. Well, my previous clinic, I felt like a number, and that led to my first getting off. And then getting back on, yes, I was very overwhelmed. I was getting off of drugs and trying to get right and stay right, so it was difficult. It was very difficult. And my past, just throw my hands up in the air and give up.
David originally didn't feel comfortable necessarily asking for help. And that's why he got into the situation in the pharmacy. He was getting overwhelmed. It was way too much for him to handle, and that's understandable, because when he told me about it, I was like, let's slow down and maybe map this out, because it's a lot of moving pieces. But once he understood that, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you. I'm here to untangle this with you so that you can get the best care. I think it's that building of trust that allows people to tell you what's really going on in their life. Because a lot of our clients face different, mental health issues or substance abuse issues or other things that they might not necessarily feel comfortable talking about or letting you know, like, this is why I'm missing my appointments. I'm really struggling with this. So I think you really have to lay that foundation with clients so that they feel comfortable to come in and talk to you about what's going on so that we can work through it.
I don't know how to deal with life on life's terms, and when that happens, I don't ask for help, and I just give up and I get high. And I didn't have to do that this time.
We also spend a lot more time with our patients one-on-one, really getting to know them so that we can see what kind of barriers they personally might face within the clinic and with the system, and what's gonna stop them from coming in for care. Because our number one goal is for them to be in medical care, taking their medication and stabilized, but we understand that if you're living on the streets, you don't know where you're gonna get your next meal, you don't know where you're gonna be able to shower, you have to run by the rules of all these shelters and everything and the different time commitments, it can be very overwhelming. So it's harder to think on the next level when you're trying to take care of your basic needs.
At the Star of Hope, part of our relapse prevention is we're not supposed to go out during the week. And after we've been here so long, we can go out on Saturdays and Sundays. And one of my biggest things, and I told Christina, I don't want to be selfish, but each time I have to go out during the week, I lose my Saturday and my Sunday. So she was real concerned about that. She heard the concern that I had because it was important to me to be able to go out on the weekend and not spend all this time going to doctors and just being shuffled around. So she has been able to work with me and work with my schedule to get one thing scheduled a week, so I only lose one Saturday and not the Sunday also. And that was important to me because I told her, I said, if I have to lose every weekend just for medical stuff, I don't want to do this.
What we do can encompass so many things. Our program in particular, the Spns team, Robert really encourages us to step outside the box. You know, go that extra mile for clients because we can. That's what our project was designed to do.
It was like a hand was reached out for me, and all I had to do was grab on, and once I grabbed on, everything just kind of took off. I couldn't have done it, and there were a lot more hands that I don't even know about, and I couldn't have done it. I couldn't have. The previous clinic I was at, I felt like a number. I felt like a number and not a patient. I felt, and that's why I gave up, like I said, and I'd never been to Thomas Street. The minute I got to Thomas Street, they called me by name. They were concerned, and Christina especially, with the other staff also, not just Christina. There was many people involved, but she was the main person I spoke with. And I felt like a patient and not a number, someone who was really truly concerned about me and my health and wanted to see the better for me.
For me, it's working with a population of people who often get overlooked, who often are judged and stigmatized, allowing them to have a human experience sometimes, because sometimes they get treated like a number. Or prior to our involvement at Thomas Street, there wasn't a whole lot of avenues for homeless people to get in there. There wasn't a lot of kind of cultural competency on issues that individuals who are homeless might face. And so for me, it's kind of a social justice perspective. Like, I want to make sure that everybody can have access to healthcare and understand what's going on. And some people need a little extra assistance in certain areas.
It gave me the inspiration to trudge whatever road that I had to face to get to where I needed to be. And there's still days that sometimes I want to give up, and I know that I can call and say, hey, look, this is where I'm at, what can we do? Even if I feel like I can't work it out, she will say, you know what, let me call you back, or I'll come by and see you and tell you what we can do. And it just gives me hope.